Hi, Dennis. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And it's nice to be part again of your podcast, Candice. I'm really excited to share more about PsychReg and more about what I've been doing in the field of mental health.
Great, great, great. So thank you so much for accepting to join. It's a real honor to have you with us today. So today's main topic is mental health and women. And before we dive into it, I would just like you to tell a bit more about what PsychReg is, just for the one who discover you for the first time.
Okay, so PsychReg is a mental health platform. We publish a range of articles about psychology, mental health, and wellness. I started it in 2014 while I was doing my MSc. And then later on, I've started organizing psychology conferences, and I've also started running an academic journal. So it's a platform for psychology, mental health, and wellness. That's what it is in a nutshell.
Okay, great, great. So, my first question for today about mental health and women is how does women mental health issues differ from men's one? What makes women's mental health so special in a way?
Mm. So obviously, there's a gender difference between mental health, between mental health among between sexes, because we have got different background. I would say initially from a man's point of view, from a male's point of view, I would say that it's a lot easier for women to vent out, because um society expects women to be more open, to be more empathetic, whereas for men, it's not really easy to do. It's not really easy to do that because there's a stereotype a stereotype of machismo, that you have to be masculine, and it's not really easy to, talk about your mental health. But also women, because you have multiple roles to play, like you yourself. You're not just fundamentally a breadwinner, but you're also looking after the family, you're looking after your children, and then you're also taking care of your partner. And also because historically women has not been really represented with a number of sectors, be it jobs or be it in academia. So it has effect on the mental health of women. Um, for women, essentially, mental health issues can be shaped by things like gender bias, lack of support during maternity, or even being the only woman in the room. But thankfully, we've made enough progress now that, there's a lot more representation when it comes to women. But I'd just like to emphasize that although there are different experiences when it comes to mental health between men and women. Both groups face issues, but
Mhm.
it just so happened that they show up differently. And if we want many healthy workplaces, we need to recognize those differences, not just ignore them. So that's really an important question for me, Candice. Thank you.
Great. So women suffer a lot from the mental load, always thinking about something, managing different areas of their life, like you just explained. So, why does it seem like women suffer from it more, and what can they do to lighten that mental workload that they always have in the background, taking appointment for the kids, taking appointment for their husband, thinking of everyone but themselves, always on in the background. How to stop that?
Mhm. Well, I'd like to again go back to what I said earlier, because I said that men also experience mental health struggles, but we tend to they don't have the opportunity to. I suppose there's an opportunity, but they don't seem to express themselves about, their struggles. Whereas women, they have they have more opportunity to express themselves, to express their struggles, but society tends to downplay their struggles or lay them as being too emotional instead of offering support. So I would say that for us to address this, we have to recognize the pressures that women experiencing and the expectations that come with it, and the systems that is actually part of the mental health issues that women experiencing. So it's mainly about conversations and also being able to find the right resources. There's so many platforms, like Psychology Today, um, um, Well-Doing, and also PsychReg. We have a list of mental health professionals that you can connect with, and just being using the tools and the resources available to you. I think that would be a good way to not just limit yourself from, hearing the conversation surrounding mental health as a woman, but also seeking appropriate help whenever it's needed.
Yeah, great. Very, very fair point. Now it leads me to another question, another observation that I had that is a bit sad to observe. It's related to self-esteem. It seems
Mhm.
that women suffer a lot from having low self-esteem. Where does it come from and how to cure this once and for all?
Mhm. About self-esteem, I suppose because women has not been represented historically to a number of sectors. Let's say, for instance, even in the field of psychology, when psychology started, it's all mainly represented by men. And there's also similarities in other sectors. So um, that historical experience affected the self-esteem of women, and also like there's also a stereotype that some skills women are not actually meant to do that. Say, for instance, engineering or doing STEM, psychology, I'm sorry, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, that women are not supposed to be on that area. So that kind of affected their self-esteem. But thankfully, with the advent of social media, with the advent of internet, we started to generate conversations about these things and how it impacts women. So, we now have role models such as yourself,
Oh, that's
trying to encourage women about self-empowerment. And I think that's really a good way to, enhance self-esteem with women.
mm, yeah. And one last question for you. It's about female friendship. Because I've seen some studies and I read that actually female friendships are one of the most um, beneficial relationship for women. Could you expand on that and why having those female friendship is so important and why women should support each other ultimately?
Because, you know, it's it's a relationship, so we have to support each other. You're not just learning from your own experience, but you also learn from, your partner. You also learn from the other sex. That's why it's really important that, you take a leaf from their experiences, from their point of view.
Mm,
And it's not just, with um, the opposite sex, but you could also engage with LGBT,
mm.
to widen your perspective.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, yeah. All right, great. Well, that was it for me for today. And I'm really grateful for your time, Dennis. I really like your input as someone who works in the field and who've been in that field for a lot of time. You clearly have like expertise in that. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting women because it's for us that you came here today. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And I invite everyone to follow your channel so they can watch more of your content and learn more about your way of thinking and read also all of your articles because there's a lot on PsychReg. I went through them and it's like wow, so many. So well done.
Yeah, thank you, Candice, and I really appreciate your time, and yeah, all the best.
Thank you.